Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cordant and we are back for some more Pathfinder WotR in Last Azlanti. In the previous episode we went through the Crusaders camp after dealing with the Grey Garrison. We have explored the entire camp, we've spoken with everybody, we've picked up all of our new quests and looted all of our new items. So we're gonna explore the world map over here, and I'm also going to try and level up Mr. Sosiel here. Well, not level him up, but just give him his mythic level. It seems like he doesn't have a mythic level, but he actually does. You just have to leave the camp for it to show up. I don't know why, but it is the way that it is. I also think you can have this for now, but this one is over here. Why? Didn't I give you this? Maybe I'm confused. You have this one. Take that. And let us go outside. Because the plan is, everybody's fatigued, so I want to rest before doing anything meaningful. But I will just take out land here, for example. Bring in Sosiel. I won't be going for any quests right now. I'm just leaving so I can level him up. You can see right here, the guy now has the mythic level. And on him, I will do something very similar to what I did with Lan, which is give him an impossible domain. This guy, actually, I didn't introduce him. Sorry, I forgot about that. So Sosiel is a neutral good human cleric. So just straight up base cleric. Clerics are always a very good class to have in your party, so he will be a good companion for you for the entire game if you choose to take him with you. I still think that a mercenary cleric will do a lot better because you can pick the domains you want with a mercenary cleric, but not on Sosiel. You can fix them by using the mythic path, but you are wasting mythic abilities on those choices, so it's not as optimal as it could be. However, I will say again, if you like playing with NPC companions, this is a good choice for the party. His domains are good and luck, which are also not bad, I will say. They're just not as good as community and animal. He comes in with the extra channel, kind of a waste in my opinion. Toughness, same deal. And also heavy armor proficiency. This hurts me. It hurts to see this. Basically because of what you can do with him. If you give him an animal companion, you can just mount the animal companion, not worry about stuff like this, which is a waste. But again, he is still usable. So yeah, I want a better domain for him, so I'm gonna give him impossible domain, animal domain, so we can have our pet, and I'm gonna go for the riding dog here. Mr. Riding Dog, as I think we've seen already, whenever Riding Dog successfully trips an enemy, that enemy receives an additional -2 penalty to AC for 1 round. At 7th level, the penalty increases to -4. So these are good animal companions to use on the more offensive side of things. Even while being offensive, animal companions can still have a lot of AC. They are still very good as a frontliner. You don't have to go for the most absolute tanking companion. They can still perform quite well, and tripping enemies is very good, so the more we have of that, the better. So I like having doggies. I'm gonna pick him up, and now we're gonna get him. So we're gonna be a bully here because we can get some nice feats out of this. More tripping power basically, and then the same thing as usual: mobility, perception, and I'm gonna give him eventually I'm gonna give him Fury's Fall. This is kind of why we pick bully, so you can pick this as well. But for right now, I want the typical defensive traits, and we are going to go for... So Cordampina has Doggy Doggerson. I guess this guy can be Mr. Pupperson. Or Mr. Puppers, yes. Yes. Mr. Puppers. Let me level him up. Mobility, perception. Mobility, perception. And here we're gonna go for Die Hard. Could also go for toughness. but I still like Die Hard on him. And that's it. So, since we don't have Boon Companion, we only get our Animal Companion at level 4, this is specific for the Clerics, I believe, is only gonna have a couple of levels, not at the same level as Sosiel right now. With this done, now we're on the world map, we have these two banners over here and we can swap between them. So if we swap for this one, we get into Crusade mode. We have a couple of footmen over here, we can hire some more. So for example, I can hire the mercenaries here. And archers are gonna, not mercenaries, why did I say that? The soldiers here, I'm gonna hire archers. We have this currency, we're using up 1,100 over here. We can recruit them. I am also going to assign a general, which are like kind of the heroes for our armies here. If you have played in your past Heroes of Might and Magic, this game has like a mini Heroes of Might and Magic game inside of it. Some people like it, some people tolerate it, some people hate it. I am on the tolerating side of things. It's not that engaging, it's not that appealing, but it's not that awful either. So, tips for having a strong army early on. You want to have magic. So, you want somebody that has this symbol over here. In this case, we have 3 of them. And especially one that has access to offensive spells like Scorching Ray. So for example, this one I wouldn't pick because I want somebody with Scorching Ray. We have 2 over here. This guy has Master of Maneuver, which can increase the size of our army by 1 unit. This lady has Spellcraft. So these would both be very decent options. I tend to favor Master of Maneuver to have more slots in my army because you only have a limit, a certain number of units you can have in your army or slots occupied, and I like to have as much as I possibly can. So Master of Maneuver is a very nice thing to have. If you don't have a spellcaster in your roster here, you can close this up and try again, and they will basically re-roll. Okay? So you don't have to worry if you don't see the one you want for the first time, you can re-roll and you'll eventually find him. So there you go. You can recruit him for 500 finance points. And with my remaining money, I'm gonna purchase as many soldiers as I can. There we are. So with Setsuna Shai, Master of Maneuver, we can now have 4 slots in our army. Alright, so now we can move around the world map, just as if I was playing with my companions. We're gonna move up over here. You can also merge different armies, which I'm gonna do right now. We're gonna do this. And since we have, well, I guess I'll explain this in a second. But yeah, we can move around the world map, and we're gonna have a bunch of demon armies spread throughout the area, and they will have different levels of difficulty. You can analyze them, see what they have. In this case, they have like 15 cultists and 5 cultist fighters. You can see what they have. You can see what you get for defeating them. And the game even tells you what it considers to be a somewhat fair encounter between your army and the enemy by putting the green marker, or if it's too difficult, red markers. But yeah, the main strength we're gonna get over here is gonna come from our general and his spells. Also to note, in my experience, something that makes fighting the Crusade a lot easier is having a very powerful backline of archers. Archers can do a lot, because you can kill the enemies before they reach you. That is very, very good. So archers will always be my priority. I will always try and keep them alive, and I will always try to have as many archers as I possibly can in my armies. Something you can also do to protect your armies, especially if you have the army size for it, is you can kind of split your forces by pressing shift click, and then you can even make like a barrier around your archers. So This way, this is the way that when a fight starts, the positioning of the units will be like this. So they will be close up to a wall and placed like this. If they are like this, no melee enemy can reach our archers. We are always safe from melee enemies. So it is a way to keep your archers safer if you choose to do so. And I'm going to do so to demonstrate. So let's move up to this army over here and take care of them. Talking about positions. Now, when you get this option, this pop-up, the enemies are retreating, pursue them and fight, you can let them flee, which means the demon army is going to disappear from the world map. If you choose pursue, you will have to fight them. The difference is none. If you let them flee, you still get the quest rewards, you still get the experience, all that stuff, so there's really no point in fighting them. But just to kind of demonstrate the fights here, I'm going to choose pursue, so we can see how this fight will play out. So, we have initiative, we have turn order, basically as if you were playing turn-based in the actual game. We have our units, we have the enemy units, and we also have our general actions. Also, at a certain patch, I don't remember when, they also added some new features, like combat acceleration, as well as auto battle, which are insanely useful, and I'm gonna use them all the time. And I always play with acceleration on, because if not, things just take way too long. So these enemies are quite simple. I'm not even gonna bother spending energy on this, because your spells do cost energy. So only use them if you feel like you want, if you have to use them, not just, you know, in a place where you don't need them. But yeah, our archers act first. We can just shoot these guys. They're gonna move. We can just even pass the turn on these guys here. Shoot again. And you see that with the combat acceleration it goes much faster. And if you reach a point where you feel like you can no longer lose this battle or lose important characters, you can just press auto battle and they will just fight by themselves, which saves up a lot of time. And let you see, we won, nothing too difficult. And now the game introduces combat morale. So I'm gonna go over this because it's very important. The morale stat reflects general mood of the Crusaders. Positive morale increases resource income and the number of troops available for recruitment, while negative morale decreases these numbers. Morale changes depending on the morale changes depending on the morale banners over there. While special conditions are met, the banner remains green and indicates increases morale by 1 per day. If the special conditions are not met, the banner turns yellow for 3 days, but still increases morale by 1 per day. Then, the banner turns red and decreases morale by 3 per day. Our army is currently carrying 2 banners. The banner of victories stays green while you defeat demon armies. Each victory over a demon army adds 4 days to the time the banner of victory stays green, so the more you kill, the longer it will be green. The banner of the March on Dresden stays green while you defeat demon armies on the road to Dresden. Each victory over a demon army on the road to Dresden adds 10 days to the time the banner of the March on Dresden stays green. This is more of a quest related one, because our main goal right now is to go to Dresden and retake it. And then, how does morale affect the Crusade game? Each unit has its own combat morale, the starting value of which depends on the Crusade morale. Various combat effects and spells can change combat morale until the end of the battle. Positive combat morale grants the unit a chance to perform another action in the same turn, while units with negative combat morale have a chance to panic and lose their action or even flee. Undead units, as well as some of the others, do not have combat morale and thus are not affected by any means that increase or decrease it. So, having a lot of morale is awesome, because you attack twice in a turn instead of just once. That is insanely powerful. If you can keep it up, do it. We got the finance points here, and I think we also get some... No, not yet. I think it's further on we get some more stuff. Quest, clear the road to the river crossing. Okay, difficulty 1, I can go for that. Okay, we can reach, good. Okay, so this fight is not dangerous, but there are some more enemies here. We have some Brimorax, which deal fire damage, and I think they're also immune to fire damage. Let me just check. Yeah, immune to electricity and fire. I don't know why they have resist fire and are also immune to fire. Okay. So, if I wanted to use Scorching Ray, you can see it would kill 0 enemies. So, instead, just gonna shoot. By the way, speed up the combat, please. And you guys stay in place. And you can also see how this works. So, the main, or the more durable enemies here are gonna be the cultist fighters. So, we can just pick our Scorching Ray, shoot them, and kill a bunch of them in a single shot. Okay, I can just go and kill this guy. They cannot cross this tree. So if you also hover the enemies, you will notice, it's not very visible, but you will notice that some squares turn darker. That is his movement range. So you can kind of plan around your movement by knowing where the enemy can reach. So this tree is blocking their path, so they can't just cross like this, they have to go around. So I can actually put you like over here, I suppose, and you can come over here. And you can shoot these guys. And at this point we can just say auto combat. Because even if you lose some units, you see this bar over here? This bar fills up as you lose units, but until it reaches the maximum cap, everybody gets replenished in the infirmary. So if the bar is not totally full, everybody you lost in the battle will get replenished. If the bar is full, everything that goes above the bar, because this will count the number of deaths, everything that goes above the bar will not get replenished and you lose those units for good. But yeah, so recruiting units. We found some scouts. We got some more finance points. So yeah, we got this other army here with some scouts or some rangers. So at this point I can just kind of... maybe I can't. How can I... I think I have to do it like this. I have to merge. And then do... like this. Okay, this works. Okay, so we picked those guys up during that combat, and we now have some more people in the army. We can also recruit more people, which I will do. Because these resources are only used to recruit, unless I'm forgetting something, but I think that's the case. It's not like it's your in-game currency to purchase items on your party and stuff like that. That's not the way it works. So we are gonna want to purchase all the people we can when we can. When you purchase them, they will spawn in your city here. So you actually have to move them up to your army if you want to join them. You can also have multiple armies to cover multiple fronts. But for right now, what I want is a as powerful as possible of an army that I can get. Okay, so when you don't have any more movement points left, you can either skip a day to recover all of your movement points, or you can play a little bit with your party to make time pass, and you can also, you know, if time passes while playing over here with these characters, it will also pass for the army so you can move again later. Like I mentioned, my goal here was only to level up Sosiel and then go back, or get random encounter already. Let me just finish my train of thought there. I wanted to level up the Mythic path on Sosiel because we have to rest anyway, everybody is fatigued. And my plan is level him up in Mythic. I'm gonna change the spells that my party currently has, we're gonna rest, and then we're gonna go. So what is this? Magical anomalies are common in the world of Galarian, so common that the use of the word anomaly itself is questionable. A regular city dweller will encounter a chaotic manifestation of supernatural power at least once in their lifetime. One might naturally assume that the strange sky, the ghostly fire from rifts in the ground, the rain of eyeballs... What? All that the world wound is known for should find some purchase in the mortal mind. But even the most worldly of travelers feel uneasy at its borders. Why? Perhaps instinctively they understand that this place is not merely a magical wasteland, but a wound, an ulcer, through which the world itself bleeds into the abyss. The commander and its army walk up to the high bank of the West Selen River, where it draws near the border of the world wound. The soldiers' feet halt unbidden. On the other bank rises a series of cliffs, too regular in shape to have been formed by wind or water. The sky hangs over their sharp edges and sickening bends, the shade of Mercury on the horizon rising to dirty rust. As it arches above the soldiers' heads, it regains its familiar azure hue. The soldiers whisper and grumble. The commander feels eyes upon his back. Somewhere among them, wearing simple armor unrecognized by anyone, the ruler of Mendev is standing and watching the new commander closely. Because you convinced Galfrey, Queen of Mendev, to join our march on Dresden. The commander gives a signal to wait and climbs to the highest point along the bank. There, he decides to... I'm guessing diplomacy is the best choice. Let's go for diplomacy. Address the soldiers and boost their morale. Establishing rapport with his troops is yet another battle that the leader must face. Through the subtle alchemy of words, one can win trust and raise morale, or lose faith and authority. Addressing the army on the border of the world wound, the commander seeks to establish himself as a military leader on his new battleground. And his efforts prove fruitful. The soldiers listen dutifully, smiles appearing on their faces. Someone in the ranks jokes that the demons are growing tired of waiting for them. The army keeps moving. Lines of soldiers step warily beneath the shroud of low black clouds. It's like the world wound has reached out a finger into the lands of Mendev. The gesture seems eerily harmless, but then the clouds come to life, shooting out howling tornadoes, one after another. The tornadoes come from all sides, from ahead, behind, and right above the soldiers' heads. The power of the elements on one side of the scales, the soldiers' fate and inspiration on the other. It's plain to see which is greater. The determined army runs a gauntlet of tornadoes. The struggle lasts over half an hour, but the army's only losses are a few bags of supplies and a dozen hats whipped off into the sky. After stopping to catch their breath, the soldiers continue on. Their first encounter with the world wound has ended in their favor. We got some experience and we got plus 10 to our morale. Awesome! Okay, so let's go back. As I mentioned, we're gonna go and change up our spells. Because the next place we're gonna go is not very nice.
You've marched me to the bones today.
I think I'm gonna take Cordampina, Camellia, Dayron, Sosiel, and Sila. I have to take Sosiel. It's his quest, so it's mandatory to take him. So let's see. I will give you Magic Fang here. You can have one command. Remove fear. Unbreakable Heart, I suppose. For level 2, you can... Actually, Dayron already has this, so you might as well take this off, maybe. At the same time, nothing really matters over here, so no. I will take one Bone Fists. I can take Bull Strength for yourself. And also the pets, I imagine. One remove paralysis. But yeah, Bull Strength, Bull Strength. And on level 3, you like to pray, my dude. I will take an Archon's Aura. I can go for one of these. And I'm thinking just one more prayer, I guess. Okay, sounds good. Cordampini, I'm gonna take off this grease here, I don't want it. And I suppose you can take a shield. For level 2, I still like my choices. And for level 3, I do think I will need haste, so I'm gonna keep this here. So you can take one of these out. And what do I do with you? Unbreakable Heart, I think. This will go away. Get one more bark skin. Because I will want on my main character, on Big Bird, and on Mr. Poppers. And for level 3, we take out the Deep Slumber. We don't care about that. And we can take... A Soothing Mud is never bad. It heals ability damage in case we get injured by it. It also does some minor healing. I'll go for Animate Death here. I don't think I need this right now. You still have your spell. And that is basically it.
Move aside.
Alright, so, before I forget, let me check this guy, see if I want something. A message for the commander. A knight in simple armor lowers his voice. I'm the queen's bodyguard. She sent me to tell you she's arrived at the camp incognito as planned. You can find her where the minor knightly orders are camped. Come if you wish to speak with her. Okay. Let's do... okay, let's check this out first, and then I'm gonna go there. Okay. I think this just gives us some additional units in the world map. Don't think it cares to it matters too much. The queen, I believe, is over here in this corner. Yep, Queen Galfrey. What do you want, lady? As promised, I entered the ranks incognito along with a few bodyguards. I have introduced myself as Kitrain, an old friend of yours. I am a knight of a minor order, the Green Crows. We shall see how long it takes Ineviate to sniff me out. Okay, let's go over this here. Okay, there's a lot to check with her if you want. Okay, that's done. That's 400 experience, so not gonna say no. Did I forget to check this guy? I did. So he has some cool things like this heavy shield. It's a +2 heavy shield. Would give some more AC to my Big Bird. Don't care about that. +1 weapons, I don't care. I mean, spending 1000 gold to have one more AC on Big Bird is not a bad thing. So I might take one. Don't care about the armor here. Don't particularly need this. It's too expensive for what it does. This here is a very good weapon, but right now I don't have anybody to use a long spear. I mean, I could give it to Sosiel, but I don't think it's worth doing it. This is a +2 long spear, so it's a reach weapon. It deals an additional 1d6 positive damage on each hit, which is very good. You cannot negate this damage. When it confirms a critical hit, it pierces the enemy. For 1d4 rounds, all subsequent hits against that target deal 1d3 positive energy damage. So just more damage piling up. This is a pretty good weapon. Other than that, wide sweep, also pretty cool. When you land a hit, you also deal damage to everybody adjacent. It's a very good weapon. Other than this, don't think I care too much about what's over here. Okay, I'll take the shield. We can give some more AC to Mr. Big Bird. by default. It probably also means I no longer need to use magical vestment. It's a +1 per 4 caster levels. So it would give me a +2 right now. Okay, so I still want to use this as the way it is. Okay. Alright, so we've done that. Let's rest. We are still a little bit away from leveling up. And worry not, at some point I will level up all of my companions. Just not right now. I want this party. And since we rested, we can probably take care of some more of the Crusade again. What was this? The commander becomes host to an anomalous force, and his dreams are filled with strange visions. He feels the space around him distort, and his sensory organs are flooded by false images, bred by distortions of light and air. Reality itself tries to expel the commander into some dark tunnel. At the other end, a grim figure awaits. His body resists his crude attempt to wrench it from reality, but the unknown force finds a tangle in the commander's soul, one made of demonic rage and destructive desire. The stranger grabs at it and pulls, like a hunter reeling a harpoon. Troubled by the sudden intrusion, the dark and ominous force deep in the commander's soul answers with a menacing growl. The commander... Ah, it has to be me, god damn it. I will try to understand what's going on. Good. He needs a moment to figure this out. The commander is being summoned, transported through space by some magical force. However, the attempt did not succeed because the commander is not a spirit or demon, but a mortal Aasimar. The commander is surprised that this spell worked on him at all. He... I guess I'm gonna use something specific to my race. I'm gonna reach out, seeking protection in the blessing of the upper planes, which is granted to all Aasimars at birth. By force of will, the commander pushes his anger down as deep in his soul as he can. The attraction rapidly weakens in response, as if the mysterious enemy can no longer sense the commander and concentrate its efforts on him. The apparition recedes, leaving the commander wondering whether it was reality or a nightmare. Alrighty. So, we want to go for Martyr Zacharias' cemetery. Something I should have done, I kind of forgot. I should have buffed myself with Mage Armor. I can still do it, I suppose. Let me see, if I go over here, I can still do this. Yeah, so Mage Armor. I'm gonna drink a potion because the issue with where we're going is we are gonna get basically ambushed. We have no way to prepare ourselves before the fight starts. And if I had remembered to do this properly, I could have buffed in the camp and then come out, because Mage Armor being cast by myself lasts 1 hour per level. So it would last for 6 hours. Or actually maybe 5 hours because of the monk level. Since I didn't, I'm just gonna use some potions here. At least on you two. Mr. Puppers can just chill. I can also give him this, by the way. Actually, what can I give you? Do I have... no, I don't. Okay, let's collect this. And enter the area. And again, this is for Sosiel's quest. An elderly man limps toward the grave and clumsily throws a handful of soil inside. How unfair. They were all so young, they had their whole lives ahead of them. They sacrificed themselves and an old cripple like me still lives. An elven woman with her face bathed in tears steps up to the grave. She whispers, "The painting. It burned like everything else in the house. There is nothing left for me to remember you by. Nothing." A young man throws a handful of soil into the open grave and stands beside it for a while, lost in thought. Finally, he sighs and steps back. Sosiel throws a handful of soil into the grave in front of him. He takes a breath and prepares to speak, but it seems that he simply cannot find the right words. The cleric wipes his tear-filled eyes, gathers his resolve, and says in a gentle voice, "I wish you a warm welcome in Challenge Realm. We will win this war, I swear to you. We'll banish this ugliness and evil, make the world richer and let peace blossom in it. We'll make sure anything like this... He breaks into sobs mid-sentence and falls silent without finishing his declaration. I'll go for lawful. You fought honorably and remained steadfast in your duty until your final breath. Your deeds will not be forgotten. Sosiel is too absorbed in his grief to hear you, but the other mourners aggressively raise their fists into the air, inspired by your words. Glory to the heroes of the Crusade, never forget. What is that? That, my friend, is a zombie. An elven woman shrieks in horror, disrupting the atmosphere of silent mourning. Her trembling hand points at something moving inside the grave. Suddenly, a corpse climbs out of the ground, wafting a horrible stench from its rotting body. It's a zombie! Run! And this is what I meant by being ambushed here. The fight will start and you cannot prepare for it. Everybody is in the middle here, which is awful.
Are the darkness.
So what I'm gonna try and do is, since we at least have the buff of mage armor, we can somewhat tank the zombies, because the zombies, let me just check, they are staggered, making it easier. Their AC is low, and they only have a +6 to attack. The zombie lords, however, are more annoying. They have 20 AC and they have a +13 to hit. So that requires a little bit more attention. In any case, what I want to do is I want to bring anybody that's not tanky back here. And what is this, by the way? Oh, right, the item that we have. Okay, so everybody not tanky, including Mr. Poppers. Let's back up, and I'm gonna actually use hold position here, and I'm gonna also back up, and Mr. Big Bird will try to attract the attention of the enemies here, and Sela can try and mount. Okay, so the game will pause a bunch of times because enemies are showing up. I am trying to take the attention of the enemies instead of them going for Dayton here with my main character. Let's see if I can do it. I think I was successful.
Smear them.
I believe so. Okay. So Mr. Poppers right now can stay where he is. Camellia can stay over here. I'm still moving with you guys. And then I'm gonna go for Selective Grease. Ah, come on, man. I'm already getting injured by quite a bit. Probably because I was flat-footed. Mr. Poppers, can you take the attention of this guy here, maybe? Also, let's do this. Yes. Go for this guy. Back up. I also want to put your stuff over here. Before I forget. And in terms of spells, okay.
The world in crimson.
Go over here, Mr. Big Bird. See if we can occupy these guys and not go for Dayton. Sosiel, get over here. Okay, I think we're fine now. I am gonna heal up because we've taken some damage, and even though we have a good amount of AC, since we're very much surrounded, it's not unlikely for them to actually roll some decent values and actually hit us, or maybe even kill us. Cordampini, your job will be to empower a Selective Grease here. So increase DC, Selective Grease, catching everybody in the area. Like this. Okay, Sosiel just... I actually forgot to equip this guy properly, didn't I? Yes, I did. Take this glaive. I can't swap his armor right now. Okay, that was my bad. It's fine, it's fine. Camellia, you can give protective luck to Mr. Poppers. He's the most likely guy to go down here. He has 25 AC, while we have 33 and 35. Okay, there goes the grease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enemies went down. These two are still up. Since they all went down, I'm gonna try and move my main character a little bit more over here.
Yes.
Okay, we also healed up, which is good.
Out of me
Let's
way.
fight over here. Mr. Poppers can also fight. Dayren, just back up a little bit. Cordon Peony, you can turn on your AI so you can shoot. And Sosiel, he does have a reach weapon, so I suppose he can stay kind of around here and help out with the fight.
Begone, fiend!
Begone, fiend! Yes. And if we take some more damage, I'm gonna go back to healing with him. Your AIs are on. Good. You don't have that. You don't have that. Perfect. Okay, one guy went down.
I'll split you in half.
Fall!
Big Bird holding on quite well. As long as they focus on my front line here, we are okay. Went down to the grease. Perfect. I think right now we are more than fine. You can even start shooting. He's not gonna hit anything, but might as well shoot. Mr. Poppers, I think you can actually just continue helping us out here.
I'm good today.
Good job. More enemies will come in. I am actually gonna back up a bit because what tends to happen, in my experience, if you start just killing enemies left and right, you will start moving your characters further and further up. And you might actually reach a point where the enemies are no longer in the grease area. So I want to make sure that they are in the grease area, so I'm going to back up with everybody here. Including Big Bird and myself. We're going to come over here. Okay, and let them come to us. And make sure we are fighting on top of the grease. This is fine.
Smear them.
Okay, so you can go
I
there
will
as
bring
well.
down the divine wrath!
I think Mr. Poppers is kind of stuck. Can you hit this guy?
Eternal Rose, I call upon
can.
you!
Okay, so just stand still then. I could speed this up with negative energy channeling, but I don't think it's necessary. So I will just conserve my resources here. We are doing very well. Can you reach this guy?
Begone, fiend!
You can. Good. And again, just another showcase of selective grease being amazing. Or selective control spells in general,
The
actually.
light, take you!
Done. With a heavy heart, Sosiel looks at the corpse of his friends returned to rest by his own hand. What is this twisted mockery? Who could possibly... Wait, what's this? He bends down and recovers something from the ground. Take a look at this. Sosiel hands off a black onyx gem to you. Once precious, this stone is now covered in cracks, falling apart in your grip as you examine the engraved Minotaur's head. The unholy symbol of Baphomet. The cleric's voice, perplexed at first, fills with rage as he speaks. Cultists. Simply murdering my friends not enough for them. No, they had to come to the funeral and desecrate their graves. They will pay for everything they have done when we find them. You're right, they can't be far. We can't allow them to torture anyone else this way. Wait, the townspeople fled the undead without knowing that they have a traitor among them. Wherever they are, they're in great danger. We must find them. So yeah, a farewell quest gets updated. So we could see here, accompany Sosiel to the cemetery, we did. Or actually talk to him, accompany him, fight off this initial wave of undead, and now we have to find the cultist. I'm also gonna do this, to kind of declutter my journal there. We have a whole bunch of stuff here. I don't care about the heavy shields, they are very heavy. I'll just take up the scimitars here. I was gonna call them minotaurs. Take these. Take all of this. Good. Check out this area first. This is the entrance. And I think if you try to leave, I think the quest fails. So once you get in here, you have to do it. Somebody help me! Trickery 21. I think rolling a 2 is not that complicated. I will also remove hold position from my party here.
I hope you appreciate this.
I do. Unquiet dead. The half-rotten corpse of a woman shambles out of the crypt. She leers at you with her empty eye sockets and croaks out a few words. Thank the gods and thank you too. I knew this was going to happen someday. They buried me alive. Who are you? Baroness Ninel Bollard at your service. The dead woman bobs a clumsy curtsy, her legs barely supporting her. My estate is not too far from here. Let me assure you that all of you are always welcome there, assuming you are properly attired. I hate to break it to you, but you're actually dead. How dare you? What utter foolishness! Do I look like a corpse to you? No, no, no. You forget yourself. You should be ashamed to say such things to a... The dead Baroness wags her finger at you in a chastising manner, but cuts herself short, staring at her own hand in horror. What? How? This simply cannot be. I shan't permit it. I'm afraid it's true. I am truly sorry. This graveyard was desecrated by a necromancer. It seems that he disturbed your rest as well. The dead woman covers her face with what remains of her decaying hands. So, I died, but even in death the accursed servants of the abyss torment me. Can nothing be done? Perhaps you could lay me to rest. I quite enjoyed my life in this world, but now there is no place for me here. Not in this miserable form. How did you awaken? Do you remember anything? Allow me a moment to think. Seems like it, yes. Indeed, I awoke because I heard a voice. They were reciting poetry, or a prayer perhaps. I suppose those were spells then. It must have been your thrice-damned necromancer. Would you like to pass along any words of comfort to your friends or family while you're here? That good-for-nothing band of hangers-on? Most certainly not, thank you very much. I am reasonably confident that they have already brought my estate to ruin and squandered the fortune I bequeathed to them. They will have to do without my missives. Spare us both their indignity and embarrassment. You see, I would still be in the company of those I truly care for, were it not for your discourteous sorcerer and his parlor tricks. Okay, let's lay her to rest in peace. Thank you. Do feel free to take my burial jewelry. Those pieces are dreadfully out of fashion where I'm going anyway. There we go. I don't know why he flew there, but... okay. Mobility. Who is our best guy? You. Yes, 13.
The world has suffered enough.
Do this. Okay, good. Mr. Poppers? Sometimes I don't understand why this happens, but okay. Let's go back out. Yeah, like why is he the one doing this? It shouldn't be him. I have to manually do this for some reason. Okay, whatever. In any case, we have some more undead to fight here. But okay, let's not be silly. I'm actually gonna buff, nearly forgot.
Rules are made to be
we do
broken.
want to buff. So let us go for our... Actually, I may have to swap my spells now. I took off Lan. Now I have Sosiel. So I suppose I can have Archon's Aura as an important spell on him. Bull Strength I have on these two. I can also give to him. Bark skin, I want on myself, him, and Mr. Poppers. I can actually clear some spells out of Camellia right now, since Dayton also has this. But I'll adjust that eventually. Not right now. And Shield of Faith, I'm also gonna give to him. And I believe that is all. Magic Fang, right. Okay. So, let's buff with our long duration first. I also need to do this here. Like this. There we go. And I think for right now I can skip the important
Follow
buffs.
me.
I will
Or
save
don't.
those for the tougher fights up ahead. Oh, okay. I wanted to charge, but I guess I couldn't.
I'll cut you wide open.
You are trying to hurt the common folk. I say nay. Nay, you devil. What horror, I can barely catch my breath. Thank you for saving our lives.
Move aside.
How much AC does Mr. Poppers have right now? Not too much. But he's only level 3. So, can't really complain. We have some more zombies over there.
Make way.
Some more zombie lords over here. I don't think I will trigger a fight up ahead. If I do this. I don't believe so. So I suppose
Never
we
a
can just
dull
say something
moment.
like charge. Oh, he's fatigued because he failed the check over there.
Don't know?
Okay.
Don't care.
It's only for 16 seconds though, so I'm gonna wait.
future awaits us.
Because I also want to charge with him. You guys can just continue chomping on the corpse there. Have fun. And done. So, charge.
Rely
Charge.
on me.
Charge.
The goddess protects us.
You don't charge, you are still kind of way too weak for jumping to the fray there. Ah, let me actually equip you, by the way, before I forget. I can give you the half-light of Vigor. Okay, that's 5 more AC on you. But other than that, there's nothing really I can give you. Okay, well, just keep with that. Let's go.
Do not fear.
This
Do not
is fine.
waver.
How many casts do I have? 4. I can spend one here. But do I need it actually? It's a fair amount of enemies, so I'm gonna use it. So Grease over here. I think we tripped him. Yeah, we did. More enemies coming in. There goes the Grease. Turn your eye back on. Go over there in case I want to heal.
Yes.
No. Come over here. Just... I will say just stay put. I don't feel safe sitting in there, honestly. Until they are focused on my front line, I don't want them to send him in. I guess he can go for this one now. And I do this again because he has a reach weapon. If he did not have a reach weapon, I would not send him in at all. Okay, we're doing good. Mr. Poppers got smacked. If he goes down, it's not that big of a deal here. But I'll still try and keep him alive. He shouldn't be in the front, to be quite honest. Let's just try and keep him alive, yeah, with Protective Luck. And some extra healing. Okay. I do miss my chant hex, I will say that much. Okay, doing quite well. I do wish I had some more offensive power here. It's taking quite a long time to kill these enemies. But we're almost done. Good. Good. Wait. Looks like they're waiting for us. And we can see here a bunch of undead with some archers. There's a whole squad of undead guarding the door. Maybe we should look for another entrance. It is not a bad plan, my friend. Not a bad plan at all. So this area here, I will tell you right now. I have tried playing this area on Unfair. So one of the things that I tried in a previous playthrough, it was a long time ago, but it should still be the same thing, was as soon as I got my first Mythic level, I swapped from hard to Unfair. But once I reached this area, I quickly realized it was not fun. Especially on last Azlanti, there will be several archers in this region, and those archers are kind of insane. Their attack bonus is through the roof. They will kill party members very, very quickly. So we have to be very careful about those.
I don't like
let's just kill this guy over here.
Heads will roll.
It's not that hard, people. Come on. Thank you. What horror! I can barely catch my breath. Thank you for saving our lives. Mm-hmm. Give me that scimitar. Oh, give me the loot. Thank you.
How
this
much
was all of
longer,
it.
I wonder?
Okay. So now the idea is we can try to find a way around this main entrance at least. Or we can just kind of get out here and kill everything for more experience and then go in anyway. I will try to go the other way, the alternate way, because I think it's more fun to show the less common paths on the quests. And it also makes things a little bit simpler, to be quite honest, so I'm gonna go for that. I think now is a fair point for us to stop the episode, because we're gonna have some more fights, some big fights in this region, which I prefer to save for a different episode. Otherwise, one would be very, very long. So, for now, my friends, I want to thank you all for being here with me in the channel, watching some Pathfinder WotR Righteous. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Questions, suggestions, anything at all, you know what to do. Leave a comment below. If you are enjoying the content, consider subscribing for more. It is a free and easy way to support the channel, and many more videos are coming out soon. I hope to see you all in the next episode, and until then, stay safe, everyone.